There are three main characters in this film, Elaine, Raymond, and Tina. I think the characters are extremely important because the filmmaker is able to build the details between the characters very carefully, and this result is that it becomes very emotional and moving, and the relationships are really connected and real. Elaine is extremely focused on juggling her life between her trying to find a job and make money and her two children, which are young and need care. So she's like constantly getting help from other people and running around, and she really never has a break. Raymond tries to help her out, and then we see that he does when he's left alone with his younger sister Tina. He's kind of like rebellious young kid who like wants to prove a point, and he knows the truth that his father's gone, and he knows it's a hard situation. He understands his mom, but he's a little bit like there's this suppressed anger inside that he like gets out on her sometimes. And Tina is like young and sweet, a little girl, but at the end of the day she's extremely smart because she's able to take care of herself on her own as well. And I think these characters come together and create a very interesting story. I was able to follow this film very well because the dialogue was extremely clear, and even if Elaine did have an accent, I was able to understand everything. I thought the dialogue really connected the characters, like for example the scene when they're fighting, when Tina and Raymond are fighting in Boston, and she's like, I don't believe there's $1 million, and I don't believe anything, and he tells her like how their dad is back in Hong Kong, and then she bursts and like just leaves, and they get lost, and they find each other and they reunite, and it's so moving, and the words are chosen so carefully for little kids as well, to use words like that and to move an audience like the way they moved me is extremely beautiful, and this film is filled with beauty and grace even though it's a drama. What I enjoyed most in this story is how out of a bad experience something beautiful can happen. For example, it's very, I noticed how Elaine was like, she got upset at Raymond for not taking care of Tina at that house that evening. She's like, you need to help me take care of your sister. And he's like, I'm sorry Mom, I will. And then that happens, that she gets like taken away, and then he really proves himself, that he's independent and he's able to make the inventions and take care of his sister, and I think that's extremely beautiful how the relationships developed between that. They needed that separation from their mother to make their relationship stronger. I really enjoyed the Q&A with Tez Chen, and this is probably one of my favorite films so far. It was really interesting to hear that it was semi-autobiographical, and I can totally see that he was backtracking and taking notes and then put the pieces together to make this story. And so much of him is in the story, and I think he did that very nicely. I also think it's really interesting how he actually used his mom in the film, and how his mom and his sister went to a bunch of screenings with him. I really respect him as a director. I think he did a wonderful job. The casting was great. The kids he found were really, really good actors. They played the parts wonderfully, which I think made the movie so strong.